the first championship game of championship weekend, which is the Chiefs at the Ravens. This one's going to be a good one. Chiefs at Ravens is going to be a massive game because what we're seeing from these teams and these players they're at the top of the game. We probably have the correct matchups when we talk about the performance of each player, and especially superstar quarterback Lamar Jackson had a very interesting comment when talking about how is it going to be like playing against Patrick Mahomes, and this is what he had to say.
I don't like competing against him at all. But, yeah, I mean, he's a great quarterback. Definitely a Hall of Famer. It's a no-brainer. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. I believe it's just two greats, up-and-coming greats just going toe-to-toe, like a heavyweight fight, heavyweight matchup. That's just what I see.
So that was Lamar Jackson. I'm going to mention this later, but the Ravens are doing something very, very smart. I want to know, are the Chiefs, this is interesting here, are the Chiefs in danger of getting blown out by the Baltimore Ravens? You're saying no?
Nope, I think it's going to be a very close game. I was tempted to pick the Chiefs. The only reason I'm not, there's two reasons. One, the Ravens are playing at home. I think there's a slight advantage to the home team playing at home in a game this big. And also, Joe Thuney is out.
Right.
He's an all-pro. And that guy is great. He was great for the Patriots. He's been great for the Chiefs. It's going to affect their running game. And not only is with Joe Thuney out, which will affect the running game, Pacheco is questionable. And he's not going to be 100%. So those two factors lead me to believe the Ravens will win and cover.
Interesting. So you got the score 28-23.
Yep.
So it's very hard to pick against Patrick Mahomes just because we just saw what he did against the Buffalo Bills on his first road playoff game. This would be his second. And what we saw was Patrick Mahomes not put up gaudy numbers. I think he threw for 215 yards. But his effectiveness, the efficiency that he played at was incredible. Now, Isaiah Pacheco had a number of explosive runs in the game. I think he had over 100 yards, and he played incredible. And when we talk about a blowout here, we've seen something from the Ravens that's incredible. I'm going to bring up the numbers in a second. But Mahomes, he hasn't faced many blowouts. If we're talking about a blowout, and by blowout, I mean 14 or more point loss, I would say that's an absolute blowout. He's only had 4 of them in his career. 3 in the regular season, 1 in the playoffs, which was the Tampa Super Bowl when he barely had an offensive line. So these are the numbers in Patrick Mahomes' blowout. This is how he plays when he gets blown out. A sub 60% completion percentage, 247 passing yards a game, 2 touchdowns to 7 picks, and a pass rating of 61.1. Okay, what about the Ravens' defense this season? Well, in 14 games against winning teams, they were incredible this entire season. Against winning teams, the Ravens' defense has been spectacular. And by spectacular, look at all these numbers. The opponent's touchdown drive percentage, 11.1, that's first in the league. Sacks, 49, first. Pressures, 350, that's first. Forced fumbles, there's 15, that's first. Passer rating allowed, 74.9, that's first. Wins of 14 or more, so they have blowout wins basically, 8, which is not only first in the league, it's the most in NFL history. No other team has had 5 in a singular season. So this Ravens defense has been, we talk about special, and I mentioned this is like the 2000s Ravens defense. I mean, look at the numbers. They're blowing teams out, shattering records out here. The previous record was 5. They have 8 this season. Most of their games, 14 out of the 17 games that they played this season was against winning teams. So this isn't like a Vikings where they had an incredible record, or this wasn't like the Dolphins where you play soft teams in perfect conditions. No, this is going up against 14 teams who ended the season with a winning record. So this is a battle-tested team. The Chiefs, this is going to be the hardest team that they've played all season. This team is healthier. Lamar Jackson is healthy, which we haven't seen in a very, very long time. This defense is damn near historic. It's already breaking records for most 14-point wins against winning teams this season. So, for me, I'm not saying it's a blowout. I'm not saying it's a blowout. I do think the Ravens win, and they win by 5. They cover. It's 31-26. I'm just saying it's in the cards.
Well,
it
Ravens
won't be surprising if Mahomes plays terrible and they get blown out.
The Ravens blew out the 49ers.
They blew out the Dolphins as well.
Yeah.
They embarrassed the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And this defense, by the way, if we're not only winning teams just in the season, they're first in sacks, first in takeaways, first in points allowed per game, first in passer rating allowed. They're second in red zone percentage, and they're 6th in total yards allowed. The Chiefs are actually better defensively in total yards given up per game.
Yeah, well,
but this defense is first in basically every single category. So
the reason I think it's close is a lot of the factors that you mentioned in terms of the Ravens being an elite team, but the Chiefs are the defending Super Bowl champs.
Right.
That's got something for a player. That is something that they want to defend. They want to be motivated to retain that title, right? They've had it all year. They're the defending Super Bowl champs. So they've been playing a lot better lately, Nate. I would have to say they've looked a lot better. Their wide receivers even have looked decent.
They've stopped dropping the ball as much.
Right. Rice has looked very good. You have Travis Kelce there, who's a seasoned veteran, an all-pro, a Hall of Famer, I would say,
absolutely,
for sure. And, he's not getting any younger. He said every one of my 10 surgeries hurts this year. And he's got Taylor Swift as his girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
She could lure him off into retirement, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I hope he doesn't retire. But I do think that combination of Mahomes to Kelce has worked for them many times. And in the clutch, they've come through time and time again. They have one of the greatest coaches in NFL history, in Andy Reid. I think that there's a possibility they could win this game. And I think it's going to be very close, but I am picking the Ravens.
I think that if the Ravens played the 49ers close, if they played the Dolphins close, I think a lot more people would be picking the Chiefs. But the fact that they went up against the 49ers at the time where they were considered hands down the best team in the NFL, Brock Purdy was an MVP candidate. This was potential MVP versus potential MVP. The winner of this game will most likely end the season as the MVP. And the defense made Purdy look like the last pick in the draft. Lamar Jackson played as efficiently and as effectively as he possibly could. I mean, the 49ers just looked like an inept team. They look like a peewee football team against this team.
They really did play poor.
And my God, the Dolphins. Now, we know the Dolphins are frauds this season, but they made them look worse. It's like Pop Warner football.
Yeah.
So this Ravens team is something different.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar has developed into a legitimate passer thanks to Todd Monken getting Zay Flowers. Mark Andrews will be back for this game. They activated him off the IR today. This Ravens team is something different, and it's not to take anything away from the Chiefs, because I think if the Chiefs were able to win this game, it'd be on Mahomes' shoulders, which is not completely out of the realm of possibility. Because we've seen Mahomes, and we've seen what people talk about Mahomes as now the greatest quarterback of all time. I think you need more wins there. However, I'm sure there's going to be a debate. Is Tom Brady the Bill Russell of the NFL?
He is.
Where the rings don't equal how great of a player, because we talk about MJ and LeBron as the greatest, not Bill Russell. So he might get into that category of all-time greatnest.
That's never going to happen, Nate.
Maybe, I'm just saying maybe. I heard
that is never going to happen.
I'm telling you, I heard a couple people say it.
Yeah, well,
I heard more than one source say that.
That is never going to happen. Nobody else is going to win 6, 7 Super Bowls.
Well, who knows? Yeah. Mahomes might win his third.
Maybe he's probably
three out of 4.
The chance. We'll see if he gets to 8 Super Bowls. I'll agree with you, but I don't think it's ever. I think a
lot of people will say just the talent that he has.
The guy takes too many hits. He's running around a lot. He's too mobile.
He's too mobile.
He's too mobile. He puts himself out there to be hit. Way. Yeah, puts himself in harm's way too often.
But I'll say if the Chiefs were to win this game, it'll be on a Mahomes virtuoso. We're talking he's 375 yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns. We're talking like Mahomes becomes like, a godsend right in this game.
I don't see. Do you see that though?
He's gonna be floating on water. He's gonna be walking on water. The Ravens
have such a good defense.
That's what I mean. Mahomes is gonna need to basically walk on water for him to win this game, I think, because the way the defense plays against the all around top tier talent, like I said, the 49ers, right? whooped them to shreds. The Dolphins, who were frauds, but yet had Tyreek Hill and a running back, Raheem Mostert, scoring like 21 touchdowns during the season. Jalen Waddle, who, I mean, he had a banged up injury, right, the season, a couple injuries, whatever the case may be. Like this, the Ravens beat the crap out of the Lions earlier this season. Didn't even score a point for until the second half. I mean, it was an embarrassment. So the Ravens are playing great. They're playing in an incredible level. It's not a knock on the Chiefs. It's just a praise of the Ravens. Just how well they've been playing, how in sync they are offensively and defensively. And thank God that the Bears decided to get off of Roquan Smith. What he has done for that defense, like he's Ray Lewis 2.0. He brings that type of mentality and that physicality to that defense. So I think the Ravens will win here. And like I said, I have them winning. I'll bring up the scores again for everyone at home. It's 28-23 for you, and 31-26. We both have the Baltimore Ravens winning. The spread at the moment is -4. I've seen a -3.5, but we're saying -4 because that's the last odds that I saw. So,
I like Lamar Jackson.
He's a phenomenal player.
I'd love to see him win this game.
I've bashed on him because his passing game wasn't developed, and Greg Roman had the system of head down and run the ball. Todd Monken opened up his passing game much more, and now, I mean, look at what he did this season. Yeah. This season, I'm thoroughly impressed.
He's the MVP.
Because I think unquestionably the MVP, and maybe unanimous. Who knows? I guarantee Brock Purdy will get some votes, but I think it is a tremendous performance this season from Lamar Jackson, who will probably be the MVP. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.